Mario, let's go back a little bit. I remember last year there was talk of you and Manny. When you first heard that, did it seem like a pipe dream or something somewhat unrealistic?
Yeah, no, for sure. Even when it was first brought up to me, I was kind of just like, wait, like Manny, like Pacquiao, and they were like, my people had told me like, yeah, that it was something that they were interested in. He was interested in, in coming out of retirement and fighting for the WBC. But of course, I mean, I was kind of like freaking out because like one, I was surprised like he even knew who I was, and two, it was like man, like he wants to fight with me, like that's crazy. But yeah, then fast forward like now, the following year, like everything's falling into place where the fight was made, and I'm just kind of just like, man, like this is really happening.
So Mario, you win on the Mike Tyson Jake Paul undercard, make a successful title defense. So as you turn the page, what did you think was going to happen with your career next?
I know next, I wanted to just continue continue fighting the best, in my division. After the last fight, it wasn't the performance that I wanted, but I still retained the title, and the goal it still remains the same. I still want to unify with the other champions, and just like give boxing fans those excited fights with the other fighters that are the best in my division.
Mario, when did this start to really come together where you're thinking, I might actually fight Manny Pacquiao?
I think it was March. So they were like, okay, yeah, they were like, he was getting everything finished with his election, because that was one thing that was brought up to me that he would have to get that out of the way, and then yeah, they started like talking about like the venue where it would be, and actually like details about the fight. I was like, this is actually this is really gonna happen. Like he's really but yeah, it's an honor. I'm excited, to just be stepping in there with a legend. But at the end of the day, I'm not lucky, to get a fight with him. I think he's lucky, to be getting a fight with me. I'm the current champion, for a reason, and I have no doubt, it's gonna be a really exciting fight.
Mario, I'm sure you were like a lot of young men at a certain age. You watch Manny Pacquiao growing up.
Oh yeah,
he's a legend. Is it a surreal feeling? You're going to be on fight posters and facing him. It's going to say Pacquiao, Barrios versus Pacquiao.
Yeah,
that has to be a surreal feeling.
No, absolutely. Even here in the gym I train at, we have plenty of Pacquiao posters. Like you're posted up in the gym, in the restroom. You're going there to see his restroom. You're gonna see his face at least like 5 times on the wall. He's somebody who's been in there with literally like everybody in the sport, from generations. So yeah, see my name, like matched up against him, on paper, on like posters and everything. It's a pretty surreal feeling.
Is it a mental challenge to overcome the fact that, hey, this is now my opponent? He's trying to knock my head off?
No, I mean, I'm taking it as as every other fight. It's just business, and yeah, I'm thankful, to be in the position, that I am. I'm happy to be step in there, with a legend, and depending on my title against him.
He's 46 years old. He lost his last fight. Are you in a no-win situation though, to a certain degree, given those factors?
I think a lot of people would say that, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm just I'm stepping in there, I'm gonna do my job, and which is to do whatever I can, to make sure I step out of the ring. Come fight night, still holding the title, and at the end of the day, he's still Pacquiao. He's still very dangerous. I've been having all types of people like sending me videos of him training and everything. So I know he's gonna be ready, and I'm training as if I'm fighting a prime Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm. But do you have to overcome any type of awe, given the fact that this guy's a legend and you grew up watching him? Do you have to overcome all of that, you think, right from the beginning, and maybe start fast?
I might have to. I think too that's just like the type of style, the type of fight that he brings. Because I know Manny's the type. He's willing to take one. To give one. He's not afraid to get drops. He's not afraid to get knocked out. So I know I have probably one of my hardest fights in front of me, and that's just that's what I'm in here, I'm training for, and I'm getting ready for.
When you look at this situation, people are going to say what they want given the age and the circumstance. Have you heard the criticism of the fight?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As soon as it was like as soon as it was leaked, it was like, oh, like what, like this fight shouldn't be happening, blah blah. Like, Barrios is this and that, for even taking this fight. But again, it's a business. He's a legend. And yeah, there's a reason why he can come out of retirement and fight for a title in the first place.
We're all boxing fans. I think we all admire Manny to a certain degree. Is there a particular fight of Manny you say, man, that guy was really good that night? A favorite fight of his?
There's so many. I mean, there's been times, I've been a big fan of his, like going for him. Then there's been like plenty of fights too that I have also been going against him. Yeah, I don't even know like where to. Like for example, I was always a really big Marquez fan. So all of his fights when he fought Marquez,
yeah,
I was rooting against him. But in fights like when he fought Mayweather's, when he fought like Ricky Hatton, was really early fights. That's when I was like a fan of like his. So yeah, there's literally like from the time I was a kid, like watching him, and then like now like I'm gonna be the one like in there like against him.
Mario, you've been involved in big events though. The Jake Paul, Mike Tyson thing, worldwide attention. You headlined a pay-per-view against Tank Davis. Has that prepared you for this type of stage?
I think so. Everything in my career, has gotten me, like prepared, for this like level of fight. And so it's like everything that's coming with it it's no longer a surprise. It's just I've been here before, and I'm just I'm ready. I'm gonna be ready come fight night, like I said, to just make sure I retain the title, and then keep on going from there.
Final question: how do you envision that night playing out in your mind?
I expect a really like an action-packed fight, despite Pacquiao's age, despite everything going on. Like I said, I'm expecting a prime Pacquiao, and like I know there's probably gonna be a firefight, and yeah, like I know fight fans can expect a really explosive night, and but I know like I said, I'm getting ready, just to make sure that my hand is raised at the end of the night, and I go back to San Antonio with that title.